Good morning. Here we are. Another day. No dollars. I have been trying to coalesce my thoughts about, well, they're in cahoots. Okay, that's my theory. My theory is they're in cahoots. Who are they, you might ask? Well, that's what this is all about. This is my, few days out post-game review theory that I have cooked up. Okay, I watched a Amir Odom video regarding the Erica Kirk, Candace Owens drama that is unfolding right now. And I think we're on like episode 7 now of the Bride of Charlie series, which again, I have not watched past episode 4. She wasn't giving it to me, so I'm really sitting out here waiting until we know exactly how long this is gonna protract itself before I commit any more of my brain cells to that endeavor. Okay. But I watched an Amir Odom video, which I will link that. Cleaning off my little gua sha here. And yeah, watch this Amir Odom video. And like I said, a couple days out from my cease and desist viewing situation. And yeah, so what's my theory? Well, to recap, which, hopefully we're getting better at, because with some of my other videos, girl, how do you understand? I don't know. Okay, because I don't. But anyways, bless you. Bashu. Basically, Erica Kirk's mom may or may not be a fraudster embezzling money from TPUSA, and Erica Kirk may or may not know about it. And Erica Kirk's family is very involved in lotteries, gambling, and alleged MK Ultra child psychology. None of which has she successfully tied to Erica herself, except for Erica attending some elementary schools. Which, like, what's she gonna do about it? She's in elementary school, right? A lot of that. Candace is salty she didn't get a Miss USA competition. You were nominated flyer in the mail when she was young. Erica Kirk goes quote-unquote missing in 2008 because she just gave up her first title, beauty pageant title, and needed some time to recalibrate, and it was 2008, but sure, she went quote-unquote missing. During this time, Candace alleges that this is when Erica gets MK Ultra'd into her ultra-biblicalness, and turned into a sparrow, basically, to go and try and become the wife of Charlie Kirk, which Candace also at some point alleges that you can tell that it's not a real relationship because he's, to quote Candace Owens, not Erica Kirk's type. Now, what does she mean by not Erica Kirk's type? Well, the only reason really that Candace says this is because Candace claims that Charlie wasn't attractive enough, okay? And all the other guys that she had dated were also high achieving, highly motivated men, and Charlie just wasn't her type because Candace is saying he's unattractive. Compared to Erica Kirk's exes, which, like, I don't know nothing about Erica Kirk or her exes, But, girl, are you really calling out an assassinated political figure for not being meeting your standards of attractiveness? Like, girl, let's, like, sweetie, that says more about you than it does about her, okay? Because in my opinion, I think there's a lot of leaps to conclusion about how Erica was pretending to be something she wasn't, and that Charlie wasn't aware of, quote unquote, who she was or who she is, right? He was bamboozled, y'all. He was scammed. He was blindfolded, blindsided, backstabbed, and just otherwise completely hogtied and humbled by his wife, who is a sparrow, mind wiped by the U.S. government through an MK Ultra program. That's Candace Owens' whole plot here, which, like, okay, girl, I hear you. I hear you. I'm out here questioning what happened too. I totally am. Don't let anybody think watching this that I'm not out here rooting for it, because a light needs to be shined, right? Which is what Amir Odom talked about in his video, right? Is that there is an importance to what Candace Owens does, right? Do I necessarily agree with her method of doing it? Maybe not, but I'm not a muckraking investigative reporter, right? Like, that's not my gig. So I'll have to think about that. But I appreciate what she's doing, because she's continuing to be the squeaky wheel, as it were, about the suspiciousness behind Charlie Kirk's assassination, which, hey, we can all respect that, right? Like, clearly it did not smell right. Shit stank to high heaven, and we all know it. And Candace Owens is out here being she's being the Karen, okay? Candace Owens is doing her civic duty, being the Karen that won't shut up about the stinkiness of the Charlie Kirk situation, all right? And respect, go off, queen. But, pardon me, but letting myself simmer for a few days and collecting my thoughts on the matter, I would not be surprised, in my humble opinion, allegedly, whatever, not that what I'm about to say is mean, or like, why would you come and sue me for this, right? Like, for what, girl? But you can take my personal debt, go on ahead. Anywho, I think that the widow Kirk and Candy O are in cahoots, okay? Like, cause that's some real next level 40 chess, like, let's get the views, let's, let's muckrake max, right? Our clip farming shenanigans here, right? Because if I was Erica Kirk, and let's give Candy O and the widow Kirk the benefit of the doubt, right? Like, let's assume that Candace Owens really was and still is deeply dedicated to Charlie Kirk and his memory, right? Because she did have a pretty extensive history of working with him and being involved with TPUSA and going on tour with him. It's how she met her husband, who, again, must we remind ye, is an heir to a British baronetcy, okay? Like, he's gonna be in the House of Lords, y'all, okay? Candy O at some point in her life will end up being Lady Farmer, all right? So, and she got engaged to him 17 days after they met for the first time via TPUSA being in the UK, okay? Like, that's Candace's love story, right? So keep that in the back of your noggin when she's out here throwing stones and calling pots black while being a kettle, with her whole, she was only with him for, his power and money and career aspirations, right? Like Candy wouldn't pick a man exactly the same for herself 17 days after meeting him. Anyways, and so let's assume that Candy really is like absolutely dedicated to figuring out like what exactly happened to Charlie Kirk, right? Like she's like, yo, we're not going to let this dog lie. We are going to hound you until we find out, right? Cool. And then let's say that TPUSA knows, whether with Candace's assistance in, you know, stirring up the dirt or not, let's assume that TPUSA and Erica herself knows about the alleged fraud or, you know, sneaky goings on within TPUSA, which assumes she does, because if her and Charlie, we take them at their word, that they have the kind of marriage that they said they did, then you can go under a couple of assumptions. You can assume that whatever Charlie was worried about, whatever was going on in that man's life, whatever was going on with the business, he was talking to her about. Okay, he was coming home, he was talking to her, she knew about it, and like she was aware, right? And that she knew what his plans were for the future of the company. She knew that he was concerned about death threats. She knew that he was, you know, concerned about outside influence. You know, like let's assume that the widow Kirk knew about all of this, right? And that they had sat down and they had had a conversation about this, which if you were a rational being in Charlie Kirk's position, you would do, especially if you have children, right? Like if you know that this is a position that you find yourself in, you have a wife, you have children, especially young children, you would have conversations with them about, not with your kids, obviously, but at that age at least, but you would at least be having conversations with your spouse about eventualities, right? Like what ifs, right? Like you would certainly, I would hope, be sitting down and having conversations about whataboutisms, right? Like the what ifs, and kind of planning for that, right? So if all of this is true, then it would lead me to believe that if I were Erica Kirk and I wanted to find out what had happened to my husband, and Candace was willing to put herself out there as the whipping boy for, you know, dealing with all of this, right? And going out and doing the legwork and really, you know, stirring up the mud, right? Because that's what a muckraker is, right? It's the term, literally. You go out, you go into a body of water, and you like stir up the dirt on the bottom, and then it washes away and you can see what's down there, right? And it makes the water clearer long term. But yeah, you gotta disturb the shit, man. See what rises to the top. And if you're Erica Kirk and you're the CEO of TPUSA, you want to find out who the rats are, okay? You want to find out where the leaks in the boat are. You let Candace Owens come in, stir that pot, baby, and watch them run. That's what I would be doing. So I think that, and again, I also base this on the accusations that have been put forward thus far by Candace Owens, right? Like, sure, she's making a lot of implications. She's like trying to make it sound like, you know, this, that, and the other. But at the end of the day, there's nothing. She's got nothing except for allegations against someone potentially embezzling money at TPUSA and turning TPUSA away from the direction that Charlie Kirk originally intended. Right? So, let that dog run. Let that dog bite. All right? Let it go. Let her stir up that mud so you can see what rises to the top, and then you are not involved in it, right? Then you can come along and you can say, oh, it breaks my heart. You were so close to Charlie. You were such good friends with him, but because of this publicity, we really can't have you with the organization anymore, right? No skin off her back. Because, sorry, even just the bad press, we can't deal with it. We can't deal with it. Right? But that's just me. That's just my little theory. So, I think that's what's happening. We will see. We will see. But again, I would think they're in cahoots, because also it really is, all publicity is good publicity, right? And if you're willing to sit back and kind of take some superficial blows, right? Take people kind of calling you out on things, which they're allowed to do, right? Like, Candace Owens is very much within her right to question what's going on. And that's one of the beauties of living where we do, right? Fully support it. Nothing is sacred. As Tyra Banks says, there are no sacred cows. But, especially not in this household, because we what? We eat the beef. But, anyways. Yeah. I think the widow Kirk and Candy O may be in cahoots together to try and get this, to continue this this boat downstream in an attempt to shine a light on the real reality of what happened. But anyway, that's all I got right now. That's all I got. That is all I got. I had some connections to Emerson and all that in here, but I don't remember how it all tied in now. And it doesn't really matter anyway. I mean, it does, right? But, like, it also doesn't. But, yeah. Anywho. Oh. How does it tie into Emerson? All right. Well, so I think it ties into Emerson because of the truth fears no light, right? And self-realization, and that morality and there are signposts along the way, right? Basically, like that. There is an intuitive nature to how you choose to live your life, right? And he talked about, we talked about in one of our Sunday things about how it's like watching a boat tack and jibe across the water, right? Like, you're going in a straight line, but it's a process. It's a process to get there. But there's a graph, right? That goes in a consistent, predictable way. And I think that what we're seeing now is, maybe in a strange way, this is what's going to push us to collective enlightenment or collective destruction, right? We've reached the point with AI and social media and the prevalence of constant interconnectedness, right? And information manipulation, right? Especially when you look at, the Bride of Charlie series is a really good example of this. That's what I talked about in all of my reviews, right? Is like, well, maybe I didn't. No, I'm pretty sure I did. Talk about like the way that you manipulate the delivery of information in influences how you receive it, right? And so it's always important to pay attention to what people want you to think versus what they're saying, right? If that makes sense. Who knows? Who knows if it makes sense? But probably not. But I never claim to be smart. But anyways, if there's nothing to find, if you got nothing to hide, then you're not worried about it, right? And in this information age, and with, you know, people being able to just find out your entire life history because it's all recorded somewhere, right? It really comes down to self-actualization, self-reliance, you know, the building of self through habit cultivation, right? Like fake it till you make it. It's literally like, there's a reason why that's a thing, right? Like if you embody the traits that you hope to have, eventually you come to have them. If you practice, like, if you want to be Arnold Schwarzenegger, you have to wake up every day and you have to go to the gym and you have to put in the work to be Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? Like, but anyways, I don't know where we're rambling with this, but anywho, I think that Candace Owens and Erica Kirk are in cahoots. It's what I would do. And I think that they're both intelligent women who are clearly aware of the power of manipulation and character building. So we'll see. We'll see how that evolves. Maybe we'll make more episodes if I decide to watch more of Candace's series, because I listen to a lot of audiobooks. Okay, I listen to a lot of music. I listen to a lot of YouTube videos because I work. And she's better than TV. So she's got that going for her. So maybe I'll listen to it eventually, but for right now, I'm kind of good. But anyway, that's all I got right now. Don't trust anybody. And it doesn't get any better than this.